Hello, 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 everybody. How's everyone doing out there this evening? My name is Valerie Harris, and this is the Spill, guys. And those of you that don't know me, this is your Stepping Up and Stepping Out series that airs on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. And like I tell you every week, this series has been designed to encourage you, to inspire you, and to empower its listeners to step up and step out of your comfort zone. And listen, guys, this evening we have a guest with us that's going to talk to us about some things that um, all child care workers need to know. All leaders that are in child care, these are some nuggets that we're going to leave with you this afternoon. And my guest name is Spring Jackson. And Spring Jackson is a consultant in the child care industry. She's an author and she's also a speaker, guys. And I am so privileged that she decided to come on after I invited her to talk with us about her company and the things that she's doing that's great out there. And she's a consultant for the Winter Circle Child Care Company. And like I told you, she's a publisher and an author, and she's the proprietor and a CEO of the Kingdom Kids Child Care LLC. And she will also be soon opening up a second set of series of locations, and she's going to franchise her businesses. I'm just so proud of her. And the Winter Circle is an adult-friendly space for child care leaders whose goals are to take off the many hats and show up as a CEO. Isn't that exciting? You know, when you own your own business, you show up as a CEO. I love that. And she does this by implementing and duplicating her systems that she have in place to give her more time and energy to increase her revenue, with her eyes firmly fixed on her mission of transforming the lives of one child at a time. And Spring strongly believes that a functional and productive society stems from a stable childhood. She knows this too well because she's a loving mother of her own adult children. And I'm so happy that she accepted our invitation, and I will be bringing Spring to the stage right now. Hello, Spring.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Hi, Ms.
I'm
Val. How
so
are you?
Yes, I am so happy you decided to come out here with us this evening.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have been anywhere else.
I know, and we've been having fun doing these lives. Look, I was challenged to do these lives, and it's a whole lot of missing parts and moving parts, and
Absolutely.
trying to make sure you don't forget nothing. So I am so happy that you decided to come out here with me and explore this arena with me. So we're going to get down to business. First of all, Spring, how long have you been in the childcare business?
So I have been in childcare for upwards of about 15 years.
Okay.
I started off just taking a job as a before and after school um, person working at a daycare center. And it started there. And then I pretty much got the idea that I can do this on my own, pretty much by myself, for myself, should I say. And I started an in home childcare center. I did that for about 6 years. Took a small hiatus, took some more training and classes, and some got some other education under my belt. And then had the opportunity about 4 years ago to open my own center, and I jumped at the chance to do that. And because I always knew I would be a childcare center owner, I just had to go through pretty much the steps to get it done.
Yes, but it seemed like it probably was very exciting because it was a passion of yours to do it.
Absolutely. And I didn't really know that I was even good at it. I didn't really even realize that. I took a job, kind of in a time in my life when I had small children and I needed work, and my sister was working at a place that had a childcare center in it. and kind of thrust me into that role. She was like, "They're hiring, girl, just come get a job." And so I didn't realize that I really had a passion for children and it was a part of purpose. And so I'm grateful for that and grateful to have found some of the purpose that is actually down on the inside of me. And I really do have a real love for children and a knack to, wrangle them and lead them, guide them, develop them, not just watch them to make sure that they eat and they nap. There's so many other components that goes with it.
And not only that, when we talk about childcare, with us being mothers ourselves,
Mhm.
we want to make sure we're putting our children in hands of people that are going to be trustworthy, that are going to take care of our kids. Because, like,
Yes,
I
yes.
was, looking at some of the things that you're doing with the kids in your company. They are the foundation of the world, and and
Absolutely.
and, and what we impart into these babies will either make or break them, and so they are seeing
Absolutely.
so many of the things that are in the world that are not so pleasing. So it is essential that when we nurture them, when they come to us, that we show them that love and show them that unconditional love, as along with educating them, teaching them how to treat one another, showing them values. And so that
Absolutely.
is just so important, that we nurture these babies so that they can be productive citizens in our country and in our society.
And it starts really really early, and I do believe that I am supposed to be on this age and stage of their growth and development, because I do stand by, if you catch children early enough and fill the gap for families who may not have the all of the support that they may need at home. My child care company happens to be a mission driven childcare where we cater to lower income families. And
Mhm.
so we are the gap filler daycare. We are the home away from home experience, and sometimes might be even better than home is for them. So we make sure that we not only support um, the children that are in our care, but we also give some support to families. And
Yes.
so fill the gap for the community, because we're getting further and further away from the village raises the child. And so we, as childcare providers and even childcare center style childcare owners, more and more of that is needed from us as well.
Absolutely. So what common mistakes do a lot of childcare owners make? What are some mistakes that you can talk about,
Well, I would
see?
say that childcare owners, well, first of all, let me just speak from my experience.
Okay.
I was a childcare owner that, I mean, I was just so excited to have the opportunity. I prayed and prayed, and I knew I'd do it. I believed I could. I was let go from one job and just said, okay, it must just be time to open my daycare. And so I made a job out of going to the library and preparing for this daycare, that I just knew that I had it all together to be able to open. And boy, was I wrong.
Uh-huh.
So, so I had taken all this time and prepared paperwork and thought that, if I had all of the handbooks and um, the particular paperwork it takes to run a childcare business ready, I would just be ready with my oil when the bridegroom got there, open the door. But was I so wrong in that there's so many different components to being a business owner in it of itself, but a childcare business owner has so many moving parts, because you have all the legal aspects of things, all the licensing aspects of things, um, taxes, accounting, just all of those things, how to get people their W-2s on time, properly take out the right amount of text. And, there's just so many things to learn. And then that doesn't even have anything to do with all the branding and marketing and messaging and all of the things that I didn't know how to get my own name out there as a business owner. And then I actually joined a mastermind and started to get with like minded people, people that had gone before me and have done things and been in business before. And there's so many things to help business owners not wear themselves all the way totally out and actually be able to get back to what they got into business for. It's not only to love on the children, support families, but actually build themselves a brand, a business that's sustainable for their family and be able to not be so overwhelmed and slaving in their business that they never get to the putting away enough money to send children through college, wearing out their own finances and finding business funding, going on vacation, enjoying the fruits of their labor, buying the dream car, owning a home, and not being able or not having to rob Peter to pay Paul to get all of this stuff done. So there was so many things in business that I had in the first place made mistakes about.
Mm-hmm.
um, Another thing that childcare owners make a big mistake on is not making sure that there are standard operating procedures in place
Mm-hmm.
so that their business is running on semi autopilot where everybody knows what they're responsible for. And all you have to do is train your leaders to hold everyone accountable so that you're not putting out brush fires all over the place all the time in your business. So those are just a couple of mistakes that I made and I see as childcare business owners we make because we're so excited to get in there, start loving on families, start hugging and kissing babies. But there's so many things in the background that go on that people don't see. There's so many moving parts to childcare and to a lot of businesses, really. But childcare, where you actually have employees and all of those things that go on with them, making sure that you are branding and marketing yourself well, that everything is going right, your licensing visits are prepared for correctly and in good timing, those types of things.
That's good stuff right there. And like you said, it's a whole lot. When you're talking about a business itself, there's so many things in the background people don't even realize that you have to prepare to make sure that all the things up front are moving smoothly, you know. But
Absolutely.
those moving parts in the back are just as important as the other parts, you know, because and
Yes,
they
yeah,
all fit together so nicely. But it takes time to get that rhythm and get that information so that you'll know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing, so that you can run your business smoothly.
right.
So, what motivating tips would you give other childcare owners?
Um, my first childcare tip to give, or first motivating tip to give childcare owners or any owner actually, would be to shift your mindset. And you may think, "Oh, I'm fine. I got this. I know what I'm doing. I've been in childcare. I've been to school for it. Or I've done this or that, and I have this education under my belt, or I have this experience under my belt." But I didn't really know until I was, first of all, on a journey to, and I didn't really know that that's what it was at the time, on a journey to for some healing and some, just a healing journey, if you will. And, just preparing your mind and shifting your mind in that you believe that you are capable, that you're worthy, and that these things you have been thrust upon you or that you venture into, you deserve them. I deserve to be a multi-million dollar business owner at some point in
I
my life.
love it.
I deserve that.
Yes.
And if I work for it, I'm going to obtain that. And sometimes, and I'll just speak for people who are, I'll call them church folk because I'm a church girl. I'm a kingdom kid for real. Like, not just because my daycare is called Kingdom Kids. I am a kingdom kid for real. And so sometimes in church, we're taught to be humble and, stay in a place of humility and not put yourself above others, but sometimes to a fault in that we take on the am I supposed to have this much? Am I supposed to have more than others? Is it right for me to be wealthy? Is it right for me to, don't the love of money is the root of all evil, that kind of stuff. You hear all of those things in scriptures and things that people will say to you. Um, but it is definitely, most definitely okay to be a wealthy person. It says the love of money is the root of all evil, not just having it. You
Mhm.
have to use it to do evil things that makes money a bad thing.
Mhm.
But having money will help you help others.
Yes.
So if you have the heart to help others and you have the resources, those are usually the people that God will put those resources in their hands because he knows that they can be trusted with it. If
I love that. I love that. That's good.
and so first of all, a mindset. I really, for about the first year I was in business, about the first year and a half. So I was about 5 months in and I went to a conference and I just joined a mastermind. I was like, I need this, I need these people, I need this energy, I need to be around people who kind of get it and are not like talking me down, talking me out of it. They kind of get what I'm going through. They can help me with some of the things that I need to know that I don't know, because a lot of people don't know that I am not formally educated. Now, Miss Valerie, she's got a doctorate over here, and God bless her. She has really accomplished some things. If y'all didn't know, I just let the cat out the bag.
It's okay.
Bragging up on you just a little bit because those are
I love you, Spring.
yes, ma'am. Those are some awesome, awesome accomplishments. But see, for me, God got jokes, and everybody's walk is different. And so I tried to go to school several times. I've taken so much training that I promise you I have a bachelor in something.
Look,
However, that's not the route that I was supposed to take. So I'm the poster child for those that can do it anyway and do it scared and just do it. And so, um, and everyone's walk is definitely different. And I don't take anything from anybody who took the time, what did their due diligence, had the discipline, went, to school and did what it is for their education and, getting those degrees. So, but I mean, God just has something else. My path is experience and everything. And I often ask him, God, why do I always have to go through everything the hard way? Sometimes it's because I've been a little hard headed in my life, but
we all have, honey. Look, we all have.
yeah, but that also goes to mindset. I'm no longer hard headed. I really want to work smarter and not harder, and actually believe in myself, in my abilities, and the things that I can accomplish. Um, get myself in the room with people who are smarter than me, so I can glean from whatever it is that they have that I need, and then do the same for other people. And so one of the biggest things is mindset.
Yeah. And that mindset is so important because as long as we have a mindset that there is something that we can learn and that there's more, and be open-minded and not
Absolutely.
have a fixed mind that I know enough. We never know enough because there's always something new that we can learn, to glean from, and to teach each other because we're in it together as consultants and as owners of our own business, being CEOs. We are constantly learning things from one another so that we can continue to build our brand and that people will trust what we're giving them and what we're showing them and what we are going to ultimately teach them so that they can go out and do the same thing. It's like a multiplication.
It is. It
It's a
definitely is. It's
yes.
it's a domino effect too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, because everybody's puzzle needs the pieces need to be filled. So we'll learn different things in different situations from different people, different circumstances, even the struggles we go through, we're learning so that all of that experience is going to help us in whatever industry, like you said, that we may be in.
Absolutely.
So when you're doing your team building for your company, what are some things that you think are very important with the team building?
Team building is very important. I have found that I have a knack to build a team. I've been in some management. I had some management opportunities, like when I had taken the hiatus. I had been a manager in a couple of companies and found that I had a pretty decent knack to build a team. Um, people that trust each other, that trust you, actually will work harder for you and for themselves, because it's
Mhm.
not just working for them. They actually are, it's not just working for you and the company, it's working for themselves to learn more, to grow, to earn a living. And so team bonding is very important. And so I usually take my team. First of all, you choose people well. If you really choose people well, find the things in your company or in your particular um, childcare industry or whatever industry that you need. So a lot of times I look for people that have strengths in the places that I have weaknesses.
Mhm.
So I always will have a tech savvy person on my team. I'm not always tech savvy. Um, I always say, I tease and say my tech is not so savvy all the time,
It's
or we
okay.
don't like to play nice all
Yeah.
the time. And so find somebody that's pretty techy. Find somebody when I see certain skills in certain people, those are the skills that I hone in on. Now
Mhm.
we'll work on their weaknesses, but I always make sure that I highlight their particular skills. First of all, people like to feel involved, and if
Yes.
you can be used in some way to be encouraged and feel as if they are a part of what's going on and they bring something to the table.
Mhm.
And if you can pull out their best attributes,
Mhm.
then you will have a person on your team a lot longer than, just other people that if you're just hiring people just to, that was one of my biggest going back to mistakes, one of the biggest mistakes I had made was just hiring bodies in the building,
Mhm.
because ratio is very important in the childcare industry. You can get in
Mhm.
trouble for not being in ratio,
Right.
and you can create pockets of um, unsafe environments if you don't have ratio in place, and that's why your licensing agency is always on you about being in ratio. And so I was hiring people that were just there to fill the spot, but not really having any skills and not really being able to hone in on their skills or um, get people to bring to the table what they brought, what they have or what their best attributes are. And so what I did different is, first of all, I started to find different and look for different people with different attributes.
Mhm.
And I trained from within.
Mhm.
So I spend a lot of money at my daycare taking them through. Right now is the winter months, and during the winter months for about 10 weeks we go through weekly trainings where I pay for the training, I put them through training, I pay them to train. And
Mhm.
so it's a lot of extra money on the payroll and a lot of extra money on the training, but it makes sure that I know, especially in the months in which we will be more out and about, open, we're leaving the building more often. They have the skills to make sure that we are doing our very best job to not only keep children safe, but to develop them and to allow our families to know that we are taking care of them like they are our own. My
Yeah.
child, one of our models is a home away from home environment, a home away from home experience. And so we do want children to be loved on. We want their social emotional to be strong or get stronger. We want them to be cognitively developed. We want them to develop their gross motor, which is the big muscles, their fine motor, which is being able to tie things and manipulate with their hands, and language and literacy. So all those components are important to rearing a child. So we just want to make sure that we are building a team that has our strengths, our weaknesses, and in being a part of this team, I enjoy making sure that they are a family feel. It's a fine line. Sometimes they get a little too friendly and they like each other too much. Then they want to go outside and hang out and.
Yeah.
So you just have to stay holding everyone accountable, from the lowest man on the totem pole, the part-timer, to administration. So if
Yes.
everybody is held accountable and people are, even if they fall out of place, you put them back into place quickly. We do team bonding things. We do a retreat every summer. We do a monthly gift for our team. And we also do a Christmas party, and they do bonuses and that kind of stuff. So we do a lot to appreciate our people and make sure that they feel like family.
And the thing of it is it is a big family. Even with the children and their families, it just becomes a big family because
Yes.
the bond of love is there.
Right.
Because these are babies and children that we want to be productive when they leave us, that they can make it. They can make it in this world because they have a lot to face. So we build that strong foundation from the beginning. Then they'll be okay with the support from everybody, because the support has to be there for our children. Our parents have to be involved in whatever's going on with them for them to be that strong person in society today.
Exactly. They gonna need it.
They need it.
Bad out there.
Yeah, it's rough out there. Yeah.
Yes.
So tell us about your child care weekly show that you do.
So I do a podcast that is called Child Care Pro Circle.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk to business owners in the niche of, it's not, well, let me say this correctly, because I think my wording sometimes trips people up. It is a podcast for child care business owners. Mm-hmm. However, we don't interview child care business owners. We actually interview business owners that have expertise in areas that will help childcare business owners. Because I said before that there were so many things in childcare business that I did not understand. I had no clue about. There wasn't, a lot of information for me. I didn't realize that you can automate your posts on Facebook so that you can continue to get content out there and let people know who you are and use social media as a marketing tool. But I didn't have to sit there and try to do all the things all day. It'd take me hours because, of course, my tech is not always so savvy, and it would take me 4 or 5 hours where someone I can hire to do that the lower hanging fruit and get it all done and get that out of the way, and still have that relevancy and stay present online. Also, just different ways to stay in front of customers by automation. Marketing yourself, branding, showing up as a brand, not just the daycare over there on that side of town. That's it. Your colors are relevant. People know you by the that logo that they see everywhere because you're plastered all over the place, and you're consistent in what you put out there. You put out good information that represents your business well and lets people know that, oh, I'm kind of curious about that. I've heard it. I've seen them a few times. Let me go, take a tour because they're interested in me. I have a goal to be a childcare that has a long waiting list. Like, everybody wants to be in this daycare. If you don't be, my kids have to go to that daycare. Like, your kid, you want to get in that daycare. That's what I'm trying to produce for my childcare before I start to franchise, so that by the time I begin franchising, it's even easier for the people that want to buy into the franchise, where it's almost, if you just go ahead and get your franchise packet, literally people are going to be knocking down your door because all over the place they know about these kids, the Kingdom kids. And so there's so many things that you need to know, to brand yourself, to content creation. Just off the top of my head, some of the things that I didn't know I needed. There is sales in childcare, and knowing how to do a good tour and close the sales, sell your business, and fill those holes and spots in your daycare, doing events. It's just so many things that can help you be a stronger, better business owner. And we put those people on the podcast. And so I've had accountants, automation, funnel specialists. We also do self-care because as childcare owners, it is our absolute knack to take care of other people. Yes. It's a thing. It's a part of our DNA. It's who we are. We take care of those who need us, but a lot of times neglect ourselves more often than not neglect ourselves. We are the nurturers of the world. We are the people that are just, it's embedded in our DNA to take care of others, whether it be the business, family. We we just always step in, and we never really take it seriously that we need to take a step back and take care of ourselves. When I first got into childcare, I literally, for the first year and a half, I worked two jobs, and sometimes I was so determined to make this business work. I would go overnight working and get off and come to the daycare. I didn't even change no clothes, wash nothing. I would have to wait till the daycare was over to freshen up and try it again and start a new day. Like,
Right.
literally, I was doing what I had to do to make sure that I was there. But then that goes to, um, I literally trained myself to eat at night, graze during the day, eat at night before my other job, and then my other job, do it, and then go to sleep and wake up, get them together, that kind of stuff. So I literally packed on about 50 pounds in my first year and a half of being in daycare because it was stressful. It was a lot I didn't know. I wanted it to work. I was so determined, but I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't in a healthy mindset. I didn't even render that important at the time. What I wanted was to make sure that I got to my first year and then through my third year, and I'm about to be through my fifth year. And so, um,
Look at God.
right. And so, um, definitely I have people on that speak to sleep therapy and mindset and healthy eating, healthy living, that kind of stuff. Life coaches, just getting people through having a business. Having a business is a lot, and
Yeah.
people see that, oh, you have a business, you got a lot of money. That is not always true.
And the thing is that you said, yeah.
I'm gonna get there, but listen, the first 5 years is a little rough.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And so I put all those people on the podcast to give some light, so shed some light and give some insight and some education into some different areas of the childcare business. Because I feel like that's the part where I was the most weak. I did not have in my repertoire enough information about being in business as a
Mhm.
childcare owner. And so that's where I feel like I needed the most help. And so now that I've learned it, I can give that to other people. And so that's what I aim to do on the podcast and as a consultant.
Well, guess what? I love it because what I've done, everyone, is I've put Spring's information up here, how you can get in contact with her. And I will also um, add more information about her. So if you want to get in contact with her, have her on your show or just have her speak or whatever. She has a wealth of information that she can share with other people. And Spring, I just want to thank you for coming out and being with us this evening. It has been a blessing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I appreciate the invitation, and hope some people could take away some nuggets from what I've said. And definitely, I would like to extend myself if there are listeners that would like to have me come and speak, or um, listen in on the podcast, or even be a podcast guest. That would be a blessing.
And on your website, you have where they can fill out an application. And like I said, I have her information on the screen where you can get in contact. If you go to her link tree, you can get all of her contact where you can sign up to go on her show, be a guest. And so that's how you can gain other information from Spring. So we thank you so much, Spring, for coming out here tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. And I'll see you in a few more minutes.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, that's it for tonight. Talk Time Val is about to sign out, but what I would like for you all to do, guys, is go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that YouTube channel. You can go to Stepping Out with Valerie Harris at YouTube and subscribe to my channel, guys. And it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful coming out here, being with you for a few minutes today. And I hope that you gain some nuggets or will be able to share some of the information that we talked about. And if you would like to get in contact with me further, my website address is www.talktimeval.com. And you can reach out and you can set up a consultation and we can get together if you're going through any issues or need to know who you are and whose you belong to or your purpose or your passion or just getting your mind and your heart straight of things that might be going on, set up a consultation and come and see me, and we can sit down and come up with a plan that can help you be more successful in your life. So guys, I'm signing out. Talk Time Val is signing out, and I will, guys. I'll see you a little bit later. And it was wonderful. I mean, wonderful coming out. And we want to thank Spring again for coming out and sharing some of her expertise with us. And I will be seeing you a little later. Bye.